Hey everyone, welcome to 59 Topps Friday, presented by Wax Pack Wisdom, where we talk baseball history through the cards we love. My name is Jake T. O'Donnell. We built the iconic 1959 Topps baseball set, and in this series we're going through every card to talk about the players, teams, and people who made up Major League Baseball in 1959. Today, we'll cover cards 461 through 470 in the set. This week, we're presenting all 10 cards in the legendary, groundbreaking 1959 Topps Baseball Thrills subset. Each of these cards evocatively depicts a thrilling moment authored by one of the era's most popular players. While Topps had ventured into multiplayer and all-star cards in previous sets, they'd never produced cards commemorating specific plays or achievements by the players. 7 of the 10 players featured in Baseball Thrills ended up in the Hall of Fame. Baseball cards are living historical documents, and no group of cards captures critical moments in history quite like these 10 examples. Card number 461 is Mantle hits 42nd homer for Crown. This card depicts the New York Yankees Hall of Fame legend Mickey Mantle winning the 1958 American League home run title. Here's the narrative from Topps on the back of the card. Mickey Mantle climaxed a season-long home run duel with Rocky Colavito by blasting his 42nd homer and winning the American League crown for the third time in his career. Never before had Mickey been followed so doggedly in his try for the championship. In 1956, when he pulled 52 homers and came close to threatening Babe Ruth's great record, he had 20 more homers than runner-up Vic Wertz. His 1955 crown was secured by a margin of 7 homers over the nearest contender, Gus Zernial, who belted 30 round-trippers. Last season, 19 of Mickey's homers were hit in night games, and he pulled a goodly share, both righty and swinging, from the port side. Some of the Mick's home run shots have astounded experts who come to the ballpark armed with a tape measure. Card number 462 is Colavito's Great Catch Saves Game. This card shares the story of Cleveland Indians All-Star Rocky Colavito making an outstanding grab to beat the Yankees. Here's what Topps had to say on the back of the card. It was late in the game and the Cleveland starter was tiring fast. He had already given up 2 hits, and the Indians' slim 1-run lead was being challenged. The outfield was told to play deep, and Rocky backed up, but the next pitch really sent him running. The Yankee batter had teed off on a high fastball, and the pellet was marked home run. Rocky was off with the crack of the bat and reached the barrier just as the ball arrived. He leaped high in the air, snared the ball, and toppled among the fans in the lower grandstand. Rocky's heads-up play snuffed out the enemy rally and saved the victory for the Tribe. This play was typical of the alert, do-or-die attitude that Rocky has in every game. One of the most determined players in baseball, he is also constantly improving. Card number 463 is Kaline becomes youngest bat champ. This card describes the historic 1955 season for Detroit Tigers Hall of Famer Al Kaline when he won the batting title in the American League at the age of 20. Here's the Topps narrative. The 6th Tiger to capture the American League batting championship was Al Kaline in 1955 with a resounding .340 batting mark. He became the youngest player to win the American League title, being 1 day younger than Ty Cobb when the Georgia Peach won the crown in 1907. The Kaline story started in 1953 when the Bengals signed the 19-year-old prospect to a bonus contract, with major league teams lavishing all kinds of bonus money on untried players. The fact that a kid named Kaline was signed for a reported $35,000 did not cause much of a sensation in Detroit. In fact, fans felt that Al might turn out to be a costly mistake, but they were quick to recognize they were mistaken. The first season, Al did not see full-time action. The second year, he hit a respectable .276, and the third year, 1955, is baseball history. Card number 464 is Mays' catch makes series history. This card recounts the legendary grab by the New York Giants Hall of Fame hero Willie Mays in Game 1 of the 1954 World Series, simply known by history as the catch. Here's the story from Topps. Giants fans had long bombarded the ears of anyone who would listen with the spectacular fielding feats of Willie Mays. The world had a chance to judge for itself in the nationally televised 1954 World Series between the Giants and the Indians. During the first game, Vic Wertz teed off on a high, hard one and sent the ball screaming into the furthest recesses of the cavernous Polo Grounds center field. It looked like a sure extra base hit since the center field fence is 480 feet from home plate. Flashing toward the fence with his back toward the plate, Willie poured on the speed, reached out and grabbed the ball, his back still to the plate. The fans in the park and throughout the nation gulped. It was the greatest catch in World Series history, if not all time. Card number 465 is Seavers Sets Homer Mark. This card shows Washington Senator slugger Roy Seavers hitting the most home runs in the American League in 1957. Here's what Topps said about the achievement. The long left field of Griffith Stadium has always served to tame right-handed home run hitters. You have to really belt the ball a country mile to clear the fence 350 feet down the foul line. Right-handed batter Roy Seavers solved this problem in 1955 when he hit a season total of 25 homers and established an all-time Washington home run record. But Roy was not satisfied. He wanted a bigger total beside his name in the Washington record book. So in 1957, he went on a long ball hitting rampage and clouded the amazing total of 42 homers to capture the American League crown. Along the way to that record, he picked up 114 RBIs, just 15 shy of Goose Goslin's all-time Washington high set in 1924. Card number 466 is Pierce All-Star Starter. This card lauds Chicago White Sox ace Billy Pierce for his 3 All-Star game starts for the American League in 1953, 1955, and 1956. Here's the narrative from Topps. One of the annual midsummer thrills is to watch Billy Pierce tame the mighty bats of the National League All-Stars. He does it with amazing regularity. Billy's first All-Star game set the pattern. He hurled his allotted 3 innings, allowed only 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and registered a strikeout. In the 1955 Classic, he was even more spectacular. His 3-inning stint was a masterpiece. Billy again yielded no runs and 1 hit, but this time victimized 3 senior circuit sluggers with his dazzling stuff for strikeouts. The following year, the NL representatives dented the plate against him for the first time, but his 5 strikeouts in 3 innings were among the highlights of that exciting game. Card number 467 is Aaron Clubb's World Series Homer. This card honors Braves Hall of Fame great Henry Aaron for his series-turning home run in the 1957 World Series against the Yankees. Here's what Topps had to say. It was the 4th game of the 1957 World Series with New York leading 2-1. This was a crucial game and the Braves had to win it to stem the Yankee victory tide. Another New York win would put the American League champions out of reach. The Yanks had scored a run in the first for a quick lead, and the Braves were kept at bay by Sturdivant's fine hurling. In the 4th inning, Logan walked and Matthews doubled him to third. Hank Aaron stepped up and leveled at a Sturdivant fastball. It was a scorcher and headed for the left field seats like a bullet. Hank had homered and 3 runs crossed the plate. It was this type of clutch hitting that helped the Braves beat New York in the thrilling 7-game series. During the Classic, Hank hit 2 other homers and posted a .393 batting mark. Card number 468 is Snider's Play Brings LA Victory. This card recounts the defensive play of Hall of Fame Dodgers outfielder Duke Snider during their first season in Los Angeles. Here's the back of the card text from Topps. Winning ball games because of Duke's great fielding plays was nothing new to Brooklyn fans, but his new admirers on the West Coast are being treated to fielding plays they have never seen before. In a bandbox ballpark like Ebbets Field, Duke specialized in climbing the relatively short center field wall. Many were the ball player who mumbled uncomplimentary remarks after Duke had hauled down their sure extra base hits. In the LA Coliseum, center field looks like the Texas Plains. But Duke has mastered the problems and makes startling over-the-head catches as well as shoestring saves. Dodger pitchers caught in a tight spot will allow straightaway hitters to tee off because they know that Jackrabbit Duke will flag down the long, difficult shots and usually come up with an impossible catch. Card number 469 is Hustler Banks Wins MVP Award. This card depicts the exploits of Hall of Fame Cubs shortstop Ernie Banks and the outstanding play that earned him the 1958 National League MVP award. Here's what Topps said about the achievement. For only the second time in the 28-year history of the most valuable player voting, the star of a second division ball team walked off with the honors. Ernie's Chicago Cubs finished fifth, and strangely enough, it was another Cub, Hank Sauer, who won the 1952 award, also with a fifth-place squad. Ernie's award came on the strength of his 47 homers that were tops for the senior circuit in 1958. In fact, he was way ahead of his nearest rival, Frank Thomas, who pulled 35 round-trippers. His 129 RBIs was 20 more than Thomas's total. Frank and Ernie being the only two National Leaguers to drive in more than 100 runs last year. But Ernie is by no means all bat, no field. He led the NL shortstops in total chances last year, and in 1955 was tied for top fielding honors. Ernie is a great all-around player. Card number 470 is Musial Wraps Out 3000th Hit. This card lauds legendary Hall of Fame Cardinals outfielder Stan Musial for joining the exclusive 3000 hit club in 1958. Here's the story from Topps. Wrigley Field was alive with excitement on May 13, 1958. Stan Musial had 2,999 base hits, and the fans wanted to see him make history by clubbing number 3000. But the fans moaned when the starting lineups were announced and Stan's name was absent. Later in the game, with the Cards trailing, Stan got off the bench to pinch hit. He received a fine ovation, but that acclaim paled in comparison with the cheers that rained through the stands a moment later when Musial connected for a double in his 3000th hit. He joined 7 other all-time great ballplayers who had reached that remarkable milestone. When the Cards returned to St. Louis, there was a great reception for Stan, and at the next Card home game, thousands of fans paid him the supreme tribute, a 3-minute standing ovation. That's going to do it for this edition of 59 Topps Friday on Wax Pack Wisdom. Do you have a story about one of the people, players, or teams we discussed today? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our Wax Pack Wisdom content. In the video description, you will find our source material for this episode, links to where you can follow us on all social media channels, as well as a list of our favorite nonprofits and charities. Please consider a donation to one of them if you enjoyed this content. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Wax Pack Wisdom. Take care.